I'm very lucky to have the wonderful Susie Fido, for the ethical marketer from Marketing with Ethics. So welcome, Susie.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. I say welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. So those of you that may know or may not, you might see Susie's name on the Facebook page for Step by Step Listening, because she's actually our Facebook manager. So it's not a surprise I've got her on here, because she's been an absolute asset to me. Those of you know that I do believe it's about listening and questioning, but if you don't get the feedback, you don't really know whether what you're doing works. So this lovely lady tracks all my Facebook readings, because I'm not very good at doing that bit, and lets me know whether anything I said last month was any good, if anybody was actually listening, which is always a really good bit of feedback to have. Otherwise your marketing can end up being that you're chucking loads of stuff out there, feeling like you're getting nowhere and not really tracking the real evidence of whether it's working. Not to mention anything you see that's pretty on my page, it's down to this lady. She makes all our graphics for us. So I just say, oh, grab this quote, and she suddenly appears with one very magically. So it's really lovely to have you on Listening Detective TV to talk about the subject. And the subject is marketing through crisis, because that's where we're at right now with the current climate. Lots of people are going through change, and the reason we decided to jump on is because we were saying how some people's behavior around this time is to sort of withdraw their marketing budget and stop in the panic of everything else. That's the thing, they stopped. And you were telling me how that's a really bad thing to do, and actually understandable, but there is some alternatives. So tell us, what can people be doing right now, Susie, to market effectively through this crisis when they are worried about money and they're worried about spending on their marketing right now?
The thing is, I mean, now is probably the most crucial time to be marketing, because a lot of your competitors are not going to be. Because whenever you look at cutting back on spend, quite often marketing is one of the first things to go. And unfortunately, it should actually be the last thing, because without customers, you don't have a business. And without marketing, it can be very difficult to get customers. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be spending money on advertising itself right now. There's many things you can be doing out there that, because you've got more time on your hands, say you have a physical shop that's actually closed, it doesn't mean your business has closed. You can be finding out where your ideal client is hiding out. You know, what sort of forums are they on? Most people now are online. They're on social media, because quite frankly, that's their way of connecting with the outside world, because they're stuck in. So go into all these groups where your ideal customer is, listen to what sort of things they're saying, and use this time to actually spend time building relationships with them. And you never know, not just are you building relationships to get through the other side, you may find that they're coming up with things that you realize it's something that you can actually do to slightly diversify your business, to be able to help bring some more money in for you right now as well. But it's all about listening to what your customers are saying. What is it, you know, what are their fears? What are their passions? What is it they're missing? And how can you help them get through that and just be some kind of support for them? It's also a great time to even look back at, you know, are you really actually even targeting the right people? To go right back to the bones of your entire marketing strategy and find out more about yourself, your purpose, and really get yourself aligned. So there is so much you can be doing that doesn't necessarily have to cost you any money.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Don't choke on me, Cheryl.
I was just going to say something, and I'm choking on my own spit there, which is not very pleasant. So what came up for me when you were saying that is actually about this going out and asking questions and listening, is that we've noticed that Step by Step Listening, haven't we, that we've been online for years and we've put questions out all the time, but we're really getting answers now, and we're actually getting engagement, because people are it is their main form of connection, it's their way of finding out information. So we've really found that people are paying attention to what goes out now, and therefore I think the business owner has even more reason to really listen to what's been saying. So I was really surprised when we put out a poll. I thought people would be wanting to manage their emotions, because they would have felt their emotions were all over the place. Turns out their top priority was community and connection, and the other one was to be able to adapt to change quicker. And so it was really interesting to get that feedback from people. So I think it's really important, as you say, to listen to what people are saying, pay attention to it, and look for the patterns across the language that's out there to find out how you can support people. So give us some examples of things, because I think the other thing to pick up on is this relationship building process, because I think if you don't look like you care and you don't look like you're contributing now when everybody's struggling, that will have a longer impact on your reputation, your credibility, and your performance post the crisis. Yeah. So what sort of things would you be suggesting to people in order to nurture relationships and to help people through this crisis particularly?
It can be a very fine line, because at the end of the day, you're a business and you still want to make money. So that's not saying that you suddenly have to drop everything and give everything away for free in order to be shown to be supporting people. You know, for example, we do Facebook, we do Google Ads. Now, I can't afford to suddenly take on 10 new clients and do it for free to help them. But what we can do is we can look at reducing the costs through this time, say for a 3-month period. Mm-hmm. Similar businesses can do the same sort of thing. Like you just launched the amazing Do, Delegate or Ditch Foundation course or program, sorry. Now, if people were to do that one-to-one, that would be a lot more expensive. But you found a way that you can help them using online methods, which therefore, you know, you can do at a much, much cheaper cost and make it more affordable for them. Yeah. So look at ways that you can support. And again, it will depend on what industry you're in, what kind of business you have. Sometimes it might just be having that shoulder for someone to lean on, for someone to have that connection to the outside world. You know, if you own a coffee shop, you may have a little old lady that used to come in every Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock for a coffee. Now, who's to say you can't reach out to her on social media and just check in with her and see that she's okay? Yeah. My mum has a similar thing with a local shop down the road. You know, they've started looking out for the people who are more vulnerable in the community, and they'll put stuff by, and they've even started doing local deliveries. Now, she never used that shop much before, but because they are being supportive and really looking out for the community and the people in it, she now is already looking at when we get through the other side, she's going to do more of her shopping there. Yeah. So it can have a great benefit. You support others and show them the empathy and be there to listen to them. And when you get through the other side, they are more likely to use your service if it's not something you can do for them now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is so important. I mean, marketing is not just the advertising and stuff you pay, is it? It's the following up with your clients and checking how they're doing and are they okay? Is there anything you can do?
It's every piece of contact that you have with either clients, past clients, potential customers, your followers on social media. So everything that is what I call customer facing is marketing. Yeah. Yeah. People often think marketing is automatically spending money, but it's not. There is so much you can do. Yeah. And it's all about building that brand and the personality behind the brand. Yeah.
And I know that you're in the process of writing a book called The Ethical Marketer's Guide. It's 12 steps before you spend a penny on advertising. And yeah. Being that I'm your coach, I've also been privy to listening to Ready to Spend is the acronym that you're using?
Ready to Spend, yes. You're going to expect me to remember what that stands for now as well, aren't you?
Well, it's all new, and obviously you know the process inside out. Fitting it into those words is the new bit, isn't it, for you? But I just want to say to everybody that one of the things that I've really valued about the fact when I work with Susie, one, she's got really creative abilities to come up with images that will, 1,000 words are said by a picture. But also the fact you're very good at the analytical side to actually measure whether stuff is working, and you're really good at helping us stop spending stuff when it isn't working. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people out there that do advertising, particularly Facebook or Google Ads, don't understand the process and then get really disappointed because it hasn't worked. And when you look at it, that there are 12 steps to do before you spend a penny, most people have only done, oh, my competitor's doing it, so I'm going to do it. But they don't really know how to hook their market in. They don't know how to get the message out there. And so I will say to you, please, if you feel that you could be using this time more valuably to actually consider it, I know that you offer a 45-minute free call.
That's correct, yeah.
To go through the 12 steps, find out where you're at with it, find out what your next best step is, and then if your next best step is to get some help from the ethical marketer, then Susie will be here to support you on your journey. So is there anything else you want to say before we log off this episode today then, Susie?
I just want to say, stay calm, keep calm, carry on marketing. Businesses, small businesses especially, are, they're getting hit hard, but they are the crux of the UK and probably most countries out there. And people want you and they love you because of your personality behind the brand rather than the big corporations. So just listen to your potential customers, get out there, support them. And when I say get out there, I don't mean leaving the house, but get out there and support them any way you can.